The battle had been won, but the scars of war lingered. As the dust settled and the dark forces retreated, Eldoria's leaders convened once more to discuss the next steps. The victory had been significant, but they all knew it was only a temporary reprieve. Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira gathered in the Grand Hall of the Aurora Forest, joined by King Elander, Elara, and other key figures from the allied regions. The atmosphere was a mixture of relief and apprehension. "We've won a great battle," King Elander began, his voice echoing through the hall. "But we must not be complacent. The darkness will strike again, and we must be prepared." Elara nodded, her expression serious. "The sorcerer we faced was powerful, but he was not the source of the darkness. We need to uncover the true origin of this threat and put an end to it once and for all." Kai leaned forward, his eyes focused on the map spread out before them. "We need to investigate the history of Eldoria. There might be clues in ancient texts or forgotten legends that can help us understand what we're truly up against." Lyra agreed. "We should visit the oldest libraries and speak with the oldest beings in Eldoria. There are places steeped in history that might hold the answers we seek." Drake, in his human form, crossed his arms. "There's an ancient library in the Shadow Mountains, guarded by a reclusive order of monks. It's said to contain texts from the earliest days of Eldoria." Mira added, "The Siren's Grotto in the Misty Isles also holds ancient songs and records that could provide insights." With their plan set, the group decided to split up once more to cover more ground. Lyra and Kai would head to the Shadow Mountains to consult the ancient library, while Drake and Mira would journey to the Siren's Grotto. As Lyra and Kai traveled back to the Shadow Mountains, the air grew cooler and the landscape more rugged. The journey was arduous, but their determination kept them going. They reached the entrance to the ancient library, a hidden cave guarded by stone statues. Kai approached the entrance cautiously. "We're here to seek knowledge," he called out. "We come in peace." The stone statues remained motionless for a moment, then slowly moved aside, granting them entry. Inside, the library was a vast, cavernous space filled with rows upon rows of ancient tomes and scrolls. Monks in simple robes moved silently among the shelves, their eyes filled with wisdom. An elderly monk approached them, his expression serene. "Welcome, travelers. I am Master Thalos, keeper of this library. What knowledge do you seek?" Lyra explained their mission, describing the dark forces and the need to uncover their origins. Master Thalos listened intently, then nodded. "There are texts here that speak of an ancient evil, one that predates even the oldest legends. Follow me." He led them to a secluded chamber deep within the library, where dusty tomes lay untouched for centuries. Thalos carefully selected an ancient scroll and unrolled it on a table. The parchment was filled with intricate runes and illustrations depicting a great darkness that once threatened Eldoria. "This speaks of an entity known as the Shadow King," Thalos explained. "He was a being of immense power, banished to the depths of the underworld by the combined forces of Eldoria's greatest heroes. But it seems his influence is stirring once more." Kai frowned. "If he's awakening, how do we stop him?" Thalos pointed to a passage in the scroll. "The heroes who banished him left behind artifacts imbued with their power. These artifacts, when brought together, conceal the Shadow King's influence once more. But they are scattered across Eldoria, hidden in places of great danger." Lyra's eyes narrowed with determination. "We need to find these artifacts and stop the Shadow King before he fully awakens." Meanwhile, Drake and Mira arrived at the Siren's Grotto, a beautiful and mysterious place filled with the haunting melodies of the sirens. The grotto was a labyrinth of underwater caves and chambers, each echoing with ancient songs. Mira led Drake to the heart of the grotto, where a grand chamber held the Siren's Archive, a collection of ancient songs and records inscribed on shells and coral. An elder siren greeted them, her voice melodic and soothing. "We seek knowledge of the ancient darkness that threatens Eldoria," Mira said. "The Shadow King." The elder siren's expression grew serious. "The Shadow King is a name we have not spoken in centuries. His darkness nearly consumed us all. But there is hope. The heroes of old left behind a song, a key to finding the artifacts needed to seal him away." She guided them to a section of the archive, where an ancient shell was inscribed with runes and melodies. Mira sang the notes softly, her voice blending with the echoes of the past. The melody revealed the locations of the artifacts, each one hidden in a place of great elemental power. With this newfound knowledge, Drake and Mira hurried back to the Aurora Forest to reunite with Lyra and Kai. They shared their findings, the pieces of the puzzle falling into place. "We know where the artifacts are," Lyra said, her voice filled with resolve. "We need to retrieve them and stop the Shadow King before it's too late." Kai nodded, his expression determined. "We'll face whatever dangers come our way. Together, we can do this." Drake and Mira agreed, their spirits bolstered by the unity and strength of their friendship. The road ahead would be perilous, but they were ready to face it together. As they prepared to set out on their next journey, the echoes of the past guided their steps, and the hope of a brighter future fueled their determination. The fate of Eldoria rested in their hands, and they would not falter. With the locations of the ancient artifacts revealed, Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira prepared for their next journey. Each artifact was hidden in a place of great elemental power, protected by formidable guardians and treacherous paths. The group knew that retrieving these artifacts would be their greatest challenge yet, but they were determined to succeed. Their first destination was the Stormy Peaks, a range of mountains known for their constant thunderstorms and unpredictable weather. The artifact they sought here was the Tempest Crystal, said to hold the power of the storm itself. As they approached the Stormy Peaks, the sky darkened, and the air crackled with electricity. Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira moved cautiously, aware of the dangers that lay ahead. The path was steep and slippery, the wind howling around them. Kai took the lead, his eyes scanning the terrain for any signs of movement. "Stay close and watch your step," he warned. "The weather can change in an instant up here." As they climbed higher, the storm intensified. Lightning flashed across the sky, and thunder rumbled through the mountains. The group pressed on, determined to reach the heart of the storm where the Tempest Crystal was said to be hidden. Finally, they reached a plateau where the air was thick with static. In the center of the plateau stood a massive stone altar, and on it rested the Tempest Crystal, glowing with an inner light. However, their path was blocked by a powerful storm elemental, its form shifting and crackling with energy. The elemental roared, its voice blending with the thunder. "Who dares to seek the Tempest Crystal?" Lyra stepped forward, her voice steady despite the storm raging around them. "We seek the crystal to protect Eldoria from an ancient darkness. We are prepared to face your trial." The elemental's eyes glowed brighter, and it raised its arms, summoning a whirlwind of lightning and wind. "Prove your worth." The battle that followed was fierce and chaotic. Lyra and Mira used their magical abilities to counter the elemental's attacks, while Kai and Drake engaged it in close combat. The elemental was relentless, its attacks swift and powerful, but the group's unity and determination gave them the edge they needed. Kai deflected a bolt of lightning with his sword, redirecting it back at the elemental. Mira used her water magic to create a barrier against the wind, allowing Drake to strike with his fiery breath. Lyra focused her energy on the Tempest Crystal, channeling its power to weaken the elemental. With a final, coordinated effort, they managed to subdue the storm elemental. The winds died down, and the lightning ceased. The elemental, now subdued, bowed its head in acknowledgement of their strength. "You have proven yourselves worthy. The Tempest Crystal is yours." Lyra carefully took the crystal, feeling its power course through her. "Thank you," she said, her voice filled with gratitude. "We will use this power to protect Eldoria." With the Tempest Crystal in their possession, the group descended the Stormy Peaks and prepared for their next destination, the Desert of Desolation. The artifact hidden there was the Sunstone, a gem said to hold the power of the sun. The journey to the Desert of Desolation was long and grueling. The heat was intense, and the sand seemed to stretch endlessly in every direction. Despite the harsh conditions, Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira pressed on, driven by their mission. As they reached the heart of the desert, they found an ancient temple partially buried in the sand. Inside, the air was cool and still, a stark contrast to the scorching heat outside. The sunstone lay on an altar, its golden light illuminating the chamber. However, the temple was guarded by a fearsome fire elemental, its body blazing with intense heat. The elemental regarded them with burning eyes. Only those who can withstand the heat of the sun may claim the sunstone. The group prepared for another battle. Lyra and Mira used their combined magic to create a protective barrier against the elemental's flames, while Kai and Drake engaged it in combat. The heat was overwhelming, but they fought with determination and skill. Drake, drawing on his own fire powers, managed to weaken the elemental, allowing Kai to strike a decisive blow. Myra's water magic provided much-needed relief from the intense heat, and Lyra focused her energy on the Sunstone, using its power to subdue the elemental. With the fire elemental defeated, the group claimed the Sunstone. Its golden light filled them with warmth and energy. "We have the second artifact," Lyra said, her voice filled with triumph. The next destination was the frozen tundra, where the ice heart was hidden. This artifact was said to hold the power of the ice and snow. The journey to the tundra was treacherous, the cold biting and unforgiving. But Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira were undeterred. As they reached the heart of the tundra, they found a glacier, its surface shimmering with icy beauty. The ice heart lay within, protected by a powerful ice elemental. The elemental's eyes glowed with a cold light. Only those who can endure the cold may claim the ice heart. The battle was brutal, the cold sapping their strength and numbing their senses. But the group fought on, their resolve unbroken. Lyra and Mira used their magic to counter the elemental's attacks, while Kai and Drake engaged it in combat. With a final, coordinated effort, they managed to defeat the ice elemental. The glacier cracked, revealing the ice heart. Lyra took the artifact, feeling its cold power resonate within her. "We have the third artifact," she said, her voice determined. Their final destination was the enchanted forest, where the Stone was hidden. This artifact was said to hold the power of the earth and nature. The journey through the forest was filled with beauty and danger, the trees whispering secrets and the ground shifting beneath their feet. At the heart of the forest, they found an ancient grove, where the Stone lay on a bed of moss and flowers. The grove was guarded by a powerful earth elemental, its form massive and imposing. The elemental's eyes glowed with a green light. Only those who respect the power of nature may claim the Stone. The battle was fierce, the earth elemental's strength unmatched. But the group fought with determination and respect for the natural world. Lyra and Mira used their magic to harmonize with the elemental, while Kai and Drake engaged it in combat. With a final, coordinated effort, they managed to subdue the earth elemental. The grove's beauty seemed to intensify as the elemental acknowledged their strength. "You have proven yourselves worthy. The Stone is yours." Lyra took the Stone, feeling its grounding power resonate within her. "We have the fourth and final artifact," she said, her voice filled with hope. With all four artifacts in their possession, Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira returned to the Aurora Forest, ready to complete the ritual that would seal the Shadow King's influence once and for all. The journey had been long and filled with challenges, but their unity and determination had seen them through. As they stood before the ancient altar once more, the echoes of their journey filled their hearts. They were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that together, they could overcome anything. Returning to the Aurora Forest with the four powerful artifacts, Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira were met with both relief and anticipation. The final ritual to seal the Shadow King's influence was within their grasp, but an air of unease lingered among the group. They knew the journey had been arduous, but the hardest part was yet to come. The ancient altar stood ready, surrounded by the leaders of Eldoria and their most trusted warriors and mages. King Elander, Elara, and other key figures awaited the group's return, their expressions a mix of hope and concern. "We have the artifacts," Lyra announced, placing them carefully on the altar. "Now we must complete the ritual to seal the Shadow King's influence once and for all." Elara stepped forward, her eyes reflecting the weight of their task. "The ritual is complex and dangerous. It requires the combined power of the artifacts and the pure intent of those who wield them. We must be vigilant, for the darkness will not stand idly by." As preparations for the ritual began, Lyra noticed a familiar figure lurking at the edge of the clearing. It was Zara, the goblin leader who had betrayed them. Her presence sent a chill down Lyra's spine. "Zara," Lyra called out, her voice filled with a mixture of anger and curiosity. "What are you doing here?" Zara stepped forward, her expression one of defiance. "I've come to warn you. The Shadow King is more powerful than you can imagine. Your ritual might not be enough to stop him." Kai tightened his grip on his sword. Why should we trust you after what you did? Zara sighed, her gaze shifting to the ground. Because I've seen the true extent of his power. I thought I could control it, but I was wrong. If you want to stop him, you'll need more than just the artifacts. Drake crossed his arms, his eyes narrowing. What do you suggest, then? Zara hesitated before speaking. The Shadow King's influence is tied to the ancient ley lines that run beneath Eldoria. You need to sever his connection to these ley lines to weaken him before performing the ritual. Only then will you have a chance to succeed. Elara nodded thoughtfully. The ley lines are the lifeblood of our world's magic. If the Shadow King is using them to strengthen his influence, severing that connection could indeed weaken him. Lyra looked at Zara, trying to gauge her sincerity. Why are you helping us now? Zara's expression softened. Because I've seen what his darkness can do. I don't want that for Eldoria. I want to make things right. With Zara's guidance, the group quickly formulated a plan. They would split up and target the key points where the ley lines converged, disrupting the Shadow King's connection to Eldoria's magical essence. Only then would they return to complete the ritual. Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira set out once more, each heading to a different ley line convergence point. The task was daunting, but they knew it was their only hope of success. Lyra's journey took her to the heart of the Aurora Forest, where the ley lines intersected in a grove of ancient trees. She could feel the powerful magic pulsing beneath the earth. As she prepared to sever the connection, shadowy figures emerged from the trees, attempting to stop her. Drawing on the power of the artifacts, Lyra fought off the shadow creatures, her determination unwavering. With a final, powerful incantation, she severed the ley line, feeling the surge of energy as the connection was broken. Kai's path led him to the crystal plains, where the ley lines converged beneath a crystalline lake. The water shimmered with magical energy, and as he approached, dark forces rose from the depths to challenge him. Using his sword and the power of the artifacts, Kai battled the dark forces, each strike precise and deadly. He focused his energy, channeling the power of the Tempest Crystal to sever the ley line beneath the lake. Drake journeyed to the Shadow Mountains, where the ley lines converged within a network of caves. The darkness was thick and oppressive, but Drake's dragon form gave him the strength to navigate the treacherous terrain. As he reached the heart of the caves, shadowy creatures attacked, their eyes glowing with malevolence. Drake fought with fiery determination, using the power of the Ithstone to shatter the ley lines' connection. Myra's destination was the Misty Isles, where the ley lines converged in an underwater grotto. The water was alive with magic, and as she approached, dark spirits emerged to confront her. Using her siren song and the power of the Ice Heart, Mira fought the spirits, her voice blending with the magic of the ley lines. With a final, haunting melody, she severed the connection, feeling the surge of energy as the darkness was weakened. With the ley lines severed, the group reunited at the ancient altar, their determination renewed. The Shadow King's influence had been weakened, but the final ritual was still a daunting task. As they began the ritual, the air grew thick with tension. The artifacts glowed with intense light, their combined power creating a protective barrier around the altar. The ground trembled, and a dark, malevolent presence loomed on the horizon. The Shadow King's voice echoed through the clearing, filled with rage and defiance. You think you can stop me? You are nothing against my power. Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira stood their ground, their hearts filled with resolve. We will protect Eldoria, Lyra declared, her voice unwavering. No matter the cost. With a final surge of energy, they completed the ritual. The light from the artifacts exploded outward, engulfing the Shadow King in a blinding brilliance. His screams of rage and pain filled the air as his dark form was torn apart by the light. As the light faded, the clearing grew silent. The Shadow King was gone, his influence shattered. Eldoria was safe, at least for now. Breathing heavily, Lyra turned to her friends, a sense of relief washing over her. We did it! We stopped him. Kai smiled, his eyes filled with pride. Together, we can face anything. Drake nodded, his expression serious but content. The darkness is always lurking, but as long as we stand united, we will prevail. Myra's voice was soft but firm. Eldoria is safe because of our bond. We must always remember that. As the leaders of Eldoria celebrated their victory, Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira knew that their journey was far from over. The echoes of the past had revealed the path to their future, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With the Shadow King's influence finally shattered, a palpable sense of relief washed over Eldoria. The people began to rebuild their lives, the regions united in a newfound sense of purpose and camaraderie. However, Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira knew that the threat was not entirely vanquished. Remnants of darkness still lingered, and they had to remain vigilant. The ancient altar, now pulsing with the combined power of the artifacts, stood as a testament to their victory. As the group gathered before it, King Elander, Elara, and other leaders of Eldoria joined them, ready to forge a lasting alliance that would protect their world from future threats. King Elander addressed the assembly, his voice strong and filled with hope. "We have faced a great darkness and emerged victorious. But this victory is not the end, it is the beginning of a new era for Eldoria. We must remain united and vigilant, for the forces of darkness are always lurking." Elara stepped forward, her gaze sweeping across the gathered leaders. "The power of the artifacts has shown us what we can achieve when we stand together. We must continue to build on this unity, strengthening our bonds and preparing for whatever challenges may come." Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira stood at the center, their expressions resolute. They had been through so much together, and their bond had only grown stronger. They knew that their roles as protectors of Eldoria were far from over. Lyra spoke, her voice carrying the weight of their journey. "We have faced many trials and have grown stronger because of them. We must continue to protect Eldoria, to ensure that the light always prevails over the darkness." Kai nodded, his eyes filled with determination. "We need to establish a council of leaders from all regions, dedicated to the defense and prosperity of Eldoria. Together, we can create a future where our children can live in peace." Drake, in his human form, added, "We must train our warriors, mages, and citizens to be ever ready. Knowledge and preparation are our greatest weapons against the unknown." Myra's voice was soft but firm. "And we must remember the power of unity. It is our greatest strength and the key to our survival." The leaders of Eldoria agreed, and plans were set in motion to establish a council and fortify their defenses. The regions would work together, sharing knowledge and resources, ensuring that the bonds forged in battle would endure. As the council took shape, Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira set out on a journey across Eldoria, visiting each region to help with the preparations and to ensure that the unity they had fought so hard for remained strong. In the Crystal Plains, they assisted in building new defenses and training warriors. Kai's sister, Kara, took on a leadership role, helping to coordinate efforts and strengthen the bonds between the warriors and mages. In the Shadow Mountains, they helped the goblins rebuild their homes and integrate into the united Eldoria. Zara, now a trusted ally, worked tirelessly to ensure her people contributed to the common cause. In the Misty Isles, Mira led efforts to fortify the islands and train new sirens in the art of magic and combat. The serene beauty of the Isles became a beacon of hope and resilience. In the Aurora Forest, Lyra and her father, King Elander, strengthened the magical wards and trained new mages to protect their homeland. The forest, with its ancient wisdom and natural beauty, remained the heart of Eldoria's strength. As they traveled, the bond between Lyra, Kai, Drake, and Mira deepened. They had faced unimaginable dangers together and emerged stronger for it. They knew that their friendship and unity were the true keys to Eldoria's future. One evening, as they camped under the stars in the Aurora Forest, Lyra looked at her friends, her heart filled with gratitude and hope. "We've come so far together. No matter what the future holds, I'm grateful to have you by my side." Kai smiled, his eyes twinkling with warmth. "We're a team, Lyra. And together, we can face anything." Drake, his expression serious but content, nodded. "The darkness may return, but we will always be ready." Myra's voice was soft but resolute. "Our bond is our greatest strength. As long as we stand together, we will prevail." As the fire crackled and the stars shone brightly above, the four friends knew that their journey was far from over. But they also knew that they were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead.